observations. I hope some of our philosophical geniuses will endeavor to investigate so unusual and apparent.
My philosophical geniuses, yo, I couldn't be no philosopher, nigga, because the sky turned black. Niggas talking about some, oh, what do you think about this, bitch? I don't know. What the fuck I'm supposed to do about this? Niggas talking about something like I'll investigate, bitch, the sky black. Fuck you talking about I'm going to investigate. What am I going to show you? What am I going to tell you? I know just as much as you know, bruh. The shit black. What is it called? Okay. This is video. You just woke me up. My bad, bruh. My bad. Alright, this video we're watching is the mysterious dark days in history, chat. So we're gonna go ahead and see the darkest day in motherfucking history. I could think of 2, to be honest. I could really think of a couple. Nigga. I'm not gonna. I could think of a, you know, at least 1 or 2. I'm not gonna cat to you. I'm gonna cat. But let's see what this video is talking about, bro. Let's see what this video is talking about. Let's go. If you're watching something too, Twitch Blueryai in the description.
May 19th, 1780, the folks of Boston, Massachusetts were going about their day. Everything seemed typical at first, but suddenly things began to change in the sky above. The sun slowly started to fade away, and the environment below got darker and darker and darker. One individual by the name of Jeremy Belknap described the event like this. He stated that the day began cloudy, but nothing atypical. But then around 10 or 11 o'clock, the clouds became yellow. In fact, the whole sky became yellow, which gave the landscape below a yellow tint. The yellow turned from an orange to a red to a brown until everything finally just became black.
Black? Yo, I'm not gonna hold. There's sometimes where I see the sky be like purple or orange or at one time where there's a bunch of fires and shit like that, so the entire sky turned like orange, like everywhere and shit. There's but black, nigga. The sky's black. Like it's not even nighttime. Nigga. It's just dead ass black, nigga. I'm not gonna hold. Game, we were in the end time, bro. I'm not gonna hold, bro. The bubonic plague is among us, man.
Black. It had gotten so dark that it was essentially night. Candles were needed to do basic work. It was literally night during the day. And this darkness wasn't like a thunderstorm rolled in. It was a significant event, and it scared the living daylights literally out of, gosh, my puns need to stop. People thought for sure it was Judgment Day. Several people prayed all day once the darkness had started, and they wouldn't stop. And this darkness wasn't just over Boston, Massachusetts.
Like, who the fuck niggas beefing with Zeus? Who the fuck you mean? Like, I probably think it's Judgment Day too, my nigga.
It was over all of New England and even parts of Canada. In fact, up in Quebec, Canada, the same yellowy sky was seen, followed by darkness. There were even individuals in New Jersey who described seeing a strange yellow substance in the water. The darkness would last for the rest of the day into the night, and it wouldn't be until the next morning that the sun finally came out and everything seemed back to normal. This strange blackout event is now known as New England's Dark Day, and it's intrigued scientists, historians, and researchers for centuries. This strange dark days phenomenon didn't just occur once in New England in 1780.
Oh, so this video is about, like, environmental dark days, like when the fucking world went dark for some reason, not like dark days in terms of tragedy happening. It's like literally the fucking, like the shit literally just went black. Could y'all imagine if the sky went black all of a sudden? Everybody would just post it on social media. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody would just motherfucking goddamn like post it on TikTok with motherfucking win whammy on that bit, nigga. I'm talking about ending. And if you want to, okay, I gotta spin it, nigga, motherfucking twerking and motherfucking blackout. Like niggas not serious nowadays. So if this happened nowadays, it would just go completely different.
It's actually occurred several times.
Oh no, I'm not gonna hold. Like fit pics is a must. In the blackout, nigga, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to take fit pics, bro. It's different.
Throughout history, these strange dark events have heavily impacted the psyche of the local residents who witnessed them, some of them fearing for their lives. So what's up with these dark days? Like, what is going on? Why is it suddenly getting dark at noon? Well, that's what we're discussing in today's video. We'll be discussing several different dark day events. We'll be talking about their causes, we'll be talking about the different theories surrounding them, and we'll even discuss why some of them still can't be explained even to this day. Let's get into it.
What did I say? Sway Lee.
So let's go back to New England's dark day of 1780. We know for a fact that this happened because there are eyewitnesses in the hundreds all over New England. Some areas were worse than others. Some areas it only got a little dark, but some areas it was literally dark as night. In the days following the darkness, people had all sorts of strange ideas on what occurred. Many of the experts of the day attributed the darkness to a volcanic eruption. There were also others who thought, hey, maybe there was a comet that for some reason caused this darkness. Of course, there were people who thought it was a form of judgment. They thought that God was angry. They thought that he was sending down his wrath, a warning perhaps. And they had good reason to believe this. There's actually a reference to dark days in the Bible. In Exodus chapter 10, verse 21 through 22, it states, "Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, darkness which may even be felt. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days."
Nigga, I don't know why, but I feel like if there was, like, low-key, we might need an event like this to happen. Nigga, everybody would call it a Fortnite event. Low-key, if this event came today, everybody would just say the event was mid, and it didn't last too long, or it was overhyped. But low-key, we might need an event like this to kind of shake things up nowadays. You know, I think niggas was a little ungrateful when this shit happened the first time.
One such believer in the biblical plague of darkness theory was First Lady John Adams' wife, Abigail Adams, who stated this. About 8 o'clock in the evening, almost instantaneously, the heavens were covered with Egyptian darkness. Objects the nearest to you could not be discerned, though the moon was at her full. It continued till 12 at night, and then disappeared without either wind or rain. I have given you only my own observations. I hope some of our philosophical geniuses will endeavor to investigate so unusual an appearance.
Niggas, my philosophical geniuses. Yo, I couldn't be no philosopher, nigga, because the sky turned black. Niggas talking about some, oh, what do you think about this? Bitch, I don't know. What the fuck I'm supposed to do about this? Niggas talking about something like I'll investigate, bitch, the sky black. Fuck you talking about I'm going to investigate. What am I going to show you? What am I going to tell you? I know just as much as you know, bruh. The shit black.
It was the most solemn appearance my eyes ever beheld, but the philosophical eye can look through and trust the ruler of the sky.
What's she talking about?
That last part was kind of weird. So what happened over the skies of New England in 1780? Well, to figure out what happened, we're going to actually look at other historic dark days. In fact, we can go all the way back to ancient times. For example, during the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, according to the Gospels, the sun went black and a darkness covered the land. Throughout the Middle Ages, there were a few recorded events that described the stars coming out during the day. There's also been several recorded dark days over very specific areas. In fact, on March 19th, 1886, apparently a darkness came over the town of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. According to the La Crosse Daily Republican, a darkness had suddenly settled upon the city of Oshkosh, Wisconsin at 3 p.m. In only 5 minutes, the darkness was equivalent to that of midnight. Eyewitnesses claimed that this was a black mist, a dark black mist that slowly approached the city from the west, almost like a thunderstorm. But as it passed over the city, it got so dark that it was essentially midnight. And then within 10 minutes, this black mist continued on into other parts of Wisconsin, although all the reports seem to only come from Oshkosh. The dark moment over Oshkosh, Wisconsin is a pretty
mist appear, bro. Some black mist appear. I'm gonna think that, nigga, I don't know, like it's like an STD in the black mist. I'm gonna stay my ass in the motherfucking house till it get out the way, bro. Nigga, that could be a jutsu for all I know, bro. Perk time.
Intriguing event. And when I said that it only lasted 10 minutes, I'm sure many of you had the same thought process as me and said, wait a second, I know exactly what caused that blackout event. It was a solar eclipse. In fact, solar eclipses could explain by far the majority of dark days recorded throughout.
Solar eclipse is like a 5 out of 10 event. Like solar eclipse, like it hit the first time, nigga, but like when the niggas say, oh, there's gonna be a solar eclipse, bro, like, bro, we don't really care like that. I'm not gonna hold, bro. We don't really care like that, bro. Like solar eclipse that ain't hit since like never, nigga. I'm not gonna hold, bro, because anytime they say, oh, you'll be able to see it from this side of the world, and you're on the side of the world, you still don't see this shit, bro. This shit don't even look like interesting. Like, bro, niggas be talking about from the sun, you'll be able to see this. And I look at the sun, and I'm like, bitch, I'm blind. And I got the glasses too. I got the glasses. Niggas talking about some, oh, just look up, you can see the, like, bro, it don't look like this, nigga. I'm just blind.
History. A solar eclipse is, as I'm sure many of you are aware, when the moon goes in between the sun and the earth, it casts its shadow on the surface of the earth. And if you're within that shadow, the day becomes night. It becomes dark all around. The shadow then follows a very specific path on the earth's surface. Witnessing a solar eclipse is seriously one of the craziest events that I've ever seen. The sky goes dark and like literally stars and planets can come out, and the entire horizon kind of looks like a sunset. It's got that orange glow all around. There's a good reason why many people throughout history who witnessed solar eclipses literally thought the world was ending. So, problem solved. It was a solar eclipse over Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Y'all seen a solar eclipse before in y'all time?
1886.
I'm saying y'all time like y'all 50.
Oh, wait. One problem. The thing about solar eclipses is we know exactly when they occurred and exactly when they will occur in the future. Because, you know, we got the orbits figured out, we got the math figured out. Somehow people know when this stuff is going. They're highly predictable. And there definitely wasn't one over Oshkosh, Wisconsin on that date. It literally did not happen. I think the nearest one during that year was like over the ocean somewhere. One thing that is kind of interesting to think about, though, is a solar eclipse during a cloudy day. You don't want a cloudy day during a solar eclipse because that ruins the whole show. But if you lived throughout historic times, back before we knew about all this stuff, and it was a cloudy day, and all of a sudden it just got pitch black outside, you would be like, what on earth is going on? And for good reason. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see the sun, so it just got dark for like 5 minutes. And it's very likely that many historic dark days were cloudy solar eclipses where they couldn't confirm it was a solar eclipse. The much more likely situation with Oshkosh, Wisconsin, is that it was probably a very unique storm system that moved through. All the people who witnessed this described that black mist. A mist is just a cloud. So a black cloud that came in from the west, like thunderstorms usually do in Wisconsin, and then went over the city, and everything just got dark. So what I'm thinking is this was like a little isolated
had a motherfucking Pokemon event, bro, when the legendary Pokemon pop out.
Supercell thunderstorm that was somehow unique in its position that made it somehow darker than a typical thunderstorm. For example, on April 30th, 1971, there was a recorded dark day over Jacksonville, Florida. But this was easily
a dark day over Jacksonville, Florida, nigga. That's every day.
Explained. As darkness fell over Jacksonville, Florida, on that day, the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning because there was a spontaneous supercell that popped up. Even when you talk about the Bridge Creek Moore tornado from May 3rd, 1999, if you look at the live coverage of that, it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark over the city. This occurred during the day when the sun was still pretty high up in the sky. And with that being said, I think that thunderstorms after solar eclipses could be another explanation for the majority of dark day events in recorded history. Here's the thing though. Solar eclipses and thunderstorms cannot explain every dark day event. Let's go back again to New England's dark day of 1780. The people who lived in New England, they had witnessed thunderstorms throughout their lives. They knew what a thunderstorm was like. They knew how dark it got during a thunderstorm. And this event was clearly different. People were freaking out. People were praying. Also, it lasted way too long to have been a thunderstorm. So there must have been something else going on. So to figure out the cause of this dark day, we must look at more eyewitness accounts to look for more clues. Some eyewitness accounts described rain that occurred during the event, and in this rain was kind of a dirty soot, almost like ash. Others described a smoke-like smell during the event. One account stated this.
See, a nigga like me can't be outside, bro. I literally can't be outside for that, my nigga. Like, I'm literally going to think that the devil is trying to possess my nigga. Like, the devil shot on the planet and shit like that.
The darkness of the day, a disagreeable smell was perceived, some resembling it to the smell proceeding from a chimney on fire, others to that which arises from swamps on fire. A like smell was perceived in the evening, united with that of sea salts. Sounds to me like a fire might play a role in all the darkness. One thing we should ask ourselves is, has there been any recent events that are similar to this event that occurred over New England in 1780?
Bro, if it's a dark midnight, I go outside, I know for a fact I'm gonna get kidnapped, gang. It's gonna be shadows that take you, bro.
And the answer to that is yes. Many back in 1780 described a yellowish hue to the sky before the event. And perhaps you may recall that time in recent history when New York City became super yellow.
Yeah, bro, this happened not too long ago, bro. Like, there was fires and the whole shit was... Yo, I'm not gonna lie, nigga. This dead ass looked like one of those motherfucking joints where it's just... It plays that one audio, it goes like... Like, nigga, this like liminal space motherfucking photos, bro. And it wasn't that long, right?
On June 7th, recent history, when New York City became super yellow. On June 7th, 2023, New York
Niggas was taking some crazy fit pics, bro.
City and much of New became super yellow. On June 7th, 2023,
New York yellow sky fit pics. See, niggas wasn't really on timing, bro. Nigga like me would have been. I'm not gonna hold. Nigga like Chad, y'all think I'm dead on who, bro? I'm not dead ass taking the craziest pick right here, bro. Like fit pick right here, gang. They got this epic ass music. Bro got this. We're about to fight Thanos ass music in this bitch, nigga. Nah, nigga. Like you're telling me a nigga not gonna stand in the street and take photos? Yeah, y'all niggas not war farming hard enough, bro. That was y'all chance, bro. That was dead ass y'all chance, my nigga. I'm not gonna hold, bro. Damn, man.
New York City and much of New England experienced a yellow hue throughout the entire sky, and we know exactly what caused this event. There were Canadian wildfires during this time, and the wind had blown that smoke high up into the atmosphere over New York City, and then sunlight went through and scattered in a way to create a yellow hue. There was also the 2020 San Francisco Orange Skies Day. This was also caused by wildfires. Now, I know that this is not healthy. Like, you do not want this for your city. The breathing conditions are not good. But this is definitely a vibe. I mean, that's like some Blade Runner stuff.
Calm, bro. Look calm shit, bro. I know if I look out the window right now and the sky orange, though, bro, I'm probably going motherfucking, like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and talk to God, bro, and just hope that he take me.
Kind of cool. Not healthy, not good, but kind of cool. So, during the dark day of June 19th, 1780, it's pretty clear that there was a wildfire atmospheric phenomenon going on. People were claiming there was a smoky smell in the atmosphere. People were talking about, like, dirty rain. There were the yellow skies. It's clearly a wildfire. But here's the thing, all right? New York City did not experience a dark day in 2023. Neither did San Francisco in 2020. So what happened in 1780 that made it so dark? So scientists actually believe that there were a few factors at play. You take New England's yellow sky event from only a few years back and then combine it with thick fog or perhaps even a thunderstorm, you can get a pretty substantial dark day. Throughout centuries, people did still argue what really was the factor behind New England's dark day. Most experts thought it was a forest fire, or a series of forest fires that caused this event, but we wouldn't have proof until 2008. Here's the thing. Tree rings. Tree rings are dope because you can look at tree rings and figure out what happened during that specific year.
Like, nigga, how? Yo, low-key, bro, humans low-key smart as shit, because who the fuck, like, really was like, I can figure out what is happening around me by looking at tree rings. Nigga, who came to that thought process? Who really sat down and was like, oh yeah, this correlates with this. This makes sense if you look at this. And if you look at this, then you can kind of figure out this. Like, nigga, how do y'all tell the weather? Yo, weather report, niggas. How is niggas telling the weather? Who is the storm chasers? Who is the weather chasers? Who is the niggas that's predicting the weather, though, bro? And who's the original motherfuckers who said that, oh yeah, it's going to storm tomorrow, my nigga? Like, isn't that wild? The fact that niggas came up with the concept to tell the temperature, the motherfucking weather, like, humans low-key smart as shit. We dumbass niggas, but we like smart though. I'm not gonna bro.
If a tree has a lot of growth, there might have been a lot of rain, a lot of favorable conditions that year. If there was like no growth,
it's science. Who made science, bro? Think about it, my nigga. The nigga who made science, low-key that nigga though. Because nigga, how you figure that out? Really think about that though, right? Because how are you going to tell us that a Big Bang happened and then there was dinosaurs? How you know that? Nigga know that off of evidence and shit like that? Like, you investigated that and shit? That's hard. Low-key, the nigga who made science, low-key that nigga, like, he need to be glazed for light. Because, nigga, how'd you really come up with that? You better than that bitch-ass nigga who came up with math homework. I'll tell you that. So shout out to the nigga who came up with science, though, bro. You the one, bro. There had to be some real astute research that had to come in and shit like those.
There must have been something bad happening. And people at the University of Missouri were able to decipher that in 1780, something was not good for the trees. When they were investigating tree rings from a forest in Ontario, Canada, researchers noticed that there were strange fire scars that appeared in the year 1780. These fire scars were essentially the smoking gun evidence to prove that the dark day of 1780 was indeed caused by
you see what I'm saying? Niggas got that off of the tree rings, bro? Yeah,
at the end of the day, a dark day is essentially just a lack of transparency of the sun in the sky. So, when you have a cloudy day, Well, it's a little bit darker because there's some stuff blocking the sun. But if you get more and more stuff in the atmosphere, the darker the sun gets. And eventually it becomes so dark that it's dark as night. It's just super rare for that occasion to occur. You have to have several factors. Wildfire smoke high up in the atmosphere with a fog rolling in at the same time. Perhaps a dust storm that gets lofted high up into the atmosphere, also creating a darkness below. So you might think that this has all been solved. We know what causes every dark day in recorded history. Well, there are still a few dark days that remain quite mysterious. One example came on June 2nd, 1802, when a sailor over the Pacific Ocean described dark clouds rolling in. These clouds became thicker and thicker till they were essentially black.
Nigga, if you were a sailor in the 1800s, nigga, you had balls of fucking motherfucking vibranium. Nigga, you was sailing uncharted waters, unexplored waters, scary ass waters in motherfucking dinghies and shit like those. Like, and I know motherfuckers was dying via the ocean like at least like 100 times more than you are now because of technology and shit like that. So low key, if you are a pilot or a nigga who is sailing, well, I don't think there was any pilots in the 1800s. But if you were a nigga sailing in the 1800s, bro, you was a bold motherfucker though, bro. Because one motherfucking cannonball, bro, you could.
And they blocked out the sun, creating a dark day. This sailor stated that the water was completely calm. There was no wind, there were no storms, everything seemed normal, except for the darkness. One very peculiar dark day occurred over Pernambuco, Brazil on April 11th, 1860. According to Strange Events researcher Charles Fort, around noon on a cloudless day, the sun essentially went black. The environment was so dark that the planet Venus could easily be seen.
So nobody said it but this. See, niggas gonna hate me for this video, bro. Nobody seen it except that nigga Charles Fort. What if that nigga Charles is capping though? What if he low key cap? He probably not. But wouldn't that be with the way that niggas lie nowadays, bro? A lot of these facts that we be knowing, niggas would probably low key might have capped about it.
It lasted for several minutes. You're probably thinking, oh, solar eclipse. Clearly it's a solar eclipse. Well, no. The two total solar eclipses for 1860 occurred on January 23rd and July 18th, not April 11th. Could something else out in space somehow block the sun's light from reaching Earth? I mean, that's the only possible explanation. A comet or something? Probably not, but still a weird event for sure. Another very famous dark day occurred over the Yamal Peninsula on September 18th, 1938. Witnesses again described a yellow hue that slowly turned from brown to red to black. What's interesting about this event is that this darkness messed with the radio signals, so local meteorologists, local residents couldn't contact any authorities. Unlike New England,
I'm not gonna lie, a sky that creates an EMP, nigga, yeah, y'all got it, bro. Just stick it in already.
This event had no rain, it had no smell, it had no dust. It just got dark for a couple hours and then dissipated. So clearly the dark day phenomenon is a real thing. And you might be thinking, if it's a real thing, where are the recent examples?
I couldn't stream during that.
Giving happened a long time ago, sometimes over 100 years. Well, you'd be in luck, because a dark day actually occurred in 2018. On July 20th, 2018, a darkness surrounded several communities in Russia's Sakha region. Again, we're in Siberia. Weird things happen in Siberia. These are real pictures from the event.
Damn.
Now, during the summertime,
nigga, y'all niggas living in Courage the Cowardly Dog motherfucking eras. What the fuck? The sky look desolate, gang. This the final level where y'all Mephisto's realm in this photo.
Always daylight this far north. So when it got super dark around noon, the residents in these communities started to freak out. According to one resident, around 11 a.m. on the 20th, the sky started to darken. It was as if a storm was approaching, but there was a yellowish tint. Then from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., it went dark. Then, the sky began to brighten sharply. Further to the east, another resident claimed this. After lunch around 2 p.m., it began to slowly darken. There was a slight stuffiness. No wind, no sun, no light. As if life had stopped. Some residents were even joking that the apocalypse had come. We even have video of this event. Check it out.
Nah, fuck no, bro. And then suddenly it's Russia, so all you hear is the purge has started, and then again you get your balls chopped off. Gang, I wouldn't like this shit looks crazy, bro.
Thankfully, this occurred in 2018 in an era where we have satellite technology, so we can actually scope out the area to see what happened. Right here, you're looking at satellite imagery from that day, and this right here, this red dot, is the location of where a lot of these sightings occurred. What do you see?
I don't see shit.
Well, there's definitely smoke, definitely wildfire smoke, but you also see a lot of clouds high in the sky. So likely what happened is multiple factors were at play. You probably had some of these clouds mixed in with the wildfire smoke, creating just a uniquely dense atmosphere, therefore creating the dark day. Dark days are definitely one of the eerier natural phenomena.
That was like some like scientific shit. Like that was like some super like science shit, bro. I'm not going.
In some ways, they're still quite perplexing. The idea of a sudden darkness plaguing a city sounds like it's out of a fiction novel, and that's why dark days are so intriguing to so many. But hopefully you have no dark days in your future. Hopefully your future is bright and sunny. And with that said, thank you so much for watching.
That video actually, like very strangely enough, that was like educational. It's not what I thought it would be at all, but it was definitely an educational video. I'm telling y'all niggas though, if we got a dark day, if we have a dark day in 2025, like this shit is dead ass black outside and it's like 2 p.m. Yeah, it's cooked for niggas. I ain't gonna hold them, bro. We not gonna make it. But niggas definitely taking fit pics. OPM boys is outside. No funnies. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Plugs actually, y'all can touch those. Y'all can touch those. But good video though. Good video for show. Good video for show though. Chat. Let's call it a night, man. Let's call it a night, bro. Let's call it.